snotty-nosed little brat who probably cusses like a sailor behind your back anyway. Parental discretion is advised.
Daddy, I'm coming to see you at visiting hours next week. Mama ain't been doing too well, I'll tell you more when we speak. And Billy's loving high school. He's out there blocking for JV. I'm sure he's gonna come around by the time you give a least. It's Friday night, the inmates go quiet. Listen for a voice they know. It's prison.
It's time to holler down the pipe chase and rattle them bars, because we're going to do a prison show for you right here at beautiful old, historic old, exciting new KPFT Houston, from the heart of Montrose, where we all hope tomorrow will be a better day.
Dreams, I can see your freedom. I will hold you once more. To men with no visitors, no money on the books. Remember, David's always gonna be here. You're never so alone. This ain't my love. It's Friday night, the inmates go quiet. Listen for a voice they know. It's prison radio. Prison radio.
Well, it's time to holler down the pipe chase and rattle the bars.
Yeah.
That's how Ray always said it.
Yeah. He sure did.
Yep.
He sure did.
Well, you want to introduce it or you want me to do it?
You haven't done it in so long. Why don't you go ahead and
Yeah,
do it?
y'all listening to the prison show, and we have a house full. We've got folks from everywhere, I think. What do we got?
All kind of
France and Italy and Houston.
countries.
Of course, Houston. But, yeah, I mean, I feel Javier and I are out of place. We're the only two guys here, and there's 7 females. And, man, it's just like a fantasy come true.
I got the long hair.
Yeah, you got the long hair, though. We'll have to... Never mind, I ain't going to say that. I'm going to pull up. But y'all welcome to the prison show. We appreciate you tuning in. We got a really good show lined up for you tonight. We got Sambo Jurado. I hope I said that right. Sambo. And then we've got Gonlisa Jane. They're both rapper type. I think Sambo does some Christian rap, but Gonlisa is actually with Dope Records. Did I say that right? Dope House Records, right?
Dope House.
Yep, and then Gloria Rubac's in the house, and she's got a really good interview coming up with, you got the schedule over there.
Arianna.
What's your title? She's the Italian
Coalition Against the Death Penalty, and she's an
author. Yeah.
Yeah. And we also have Abraham Bonowitz.
Yep.
The co-director, founder of the death penalty.
You know you're on Facebook Live. So.
Yeah, Gloria.
Yeah.
But Sambo is also Magic Hand Paint and Murals.
So Sambo's got a long resume, and we'll get him on here in just a minute, and he can tell us about it. Sambo's done a lot of time. He's a returning citizen.
Yes.
He works with the city of Houston.
Yes.
Doing a lot of gang intervention. That's a good way to put it.
That's a good way to put it. I was like, you need to finish that statement there, David.
Well, you know what? And I don't want to preach, but God gave us our past for a reason. And if we don't use our past to help other people, then it's just a waste of time. It is.
I know.
It's like going down a dead-end road and not putting a sign up. You got to put the sign up.
Yeah, but...
Yeah. All right, let's start out with Sambo.
Hey, Sambo.
How's it going?
How you doing, brother?
How y'all doing tonight?
Man, we're actually, it's kind of hot in here. I can't believe that the air conditioner's not just kicking in.
Oh, man. Well, my air conditioning is blowing over here, man, on this end.
Rub it in, man.
My wife keeps it at about 68 degrees, 65 degrees at the house.
Yeah, that's where it should be, I think. I'm a pretty big fella, so I like it down there like that. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? I know I kind of gave a little intro, but I probably got it all wrong, didn't I?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you kind of got it. I'm not a Christian rapper. I'm not a Christian rapper.
I heard your G-code facto.
Yeah, G-code. Oh, yeah. That was a spoken word thing. The G-codewithsambo.
Yeah.
The G-code manifesto is a project I put out when I got home. Just a spoken word over some beats, you know. Just try to get the message out there that, you know, anything that you put your mind to, that you can actually accomplish it. You got the right people in your path, the right support system. You know, you can bring it all full circle. This project I worked on when I got home, but I do work with a lot of people in the music industry. I do a lot of pastoring with them brothers, a lot of counseling with the brothers and sisters that are involved in that type of music industry, and. But other than that, man, you know, I'm just out here, man. I did 30 years in prison, and I'm sure there's some listeners out there that know who I am. I did 30 years in prison, been home about 18 months now, and I'm just out here, man, doing my thing and being a light and helping as many people as possible. You know, I came home to my wife and my daughter, and you know, beautiful home, beautiful life. You know, a lot of work. You know, I put in a lot of work, but you know, you reap the benefits when you put in the work.
Yep.
And
was it a major transition for you?
Oh yeah, after 30 years in prison, you know, I still have, you know, some things inside of me psychologically that I still have to deal with that I haven't been able to deal with since I've been home. Because you know, you come home, you got to pay the bills, you got to get straight to work. And the healing process in prison, you got time. That's why, you know, if any of the listeners are out there, you know, before you get home, try to deal with as much of the internal issues that you have to deal with before you come home, because, you know, you don't have the free time out here to really just sit down like we do when we're locked up and take an introspective look and start addressing the internal issues that you have inside of you. Outside, externally, you know, everything looks good. Everything, the bills, the house, the cars, you know, the dress, everything looks good. But sometimes people out here, they forget that, you know, we've dealt with a lot of trauma behind prison walls, and everybody that's been locked up or that's still locked up, they understand the conditions that we have to endure while we're locked up, man. And I don't wish prison on nobody.
Yeah. I don't even like locking my dog up, let alone a human being.
Yeah, I'm like that as well, bro. I'm like that too. You know, I don't like to have animals caged up. We got a rabbit, we got a turtle, we got 2 cats, we got a dog, we got a whole zoo over here at the house, man. And I don't like to have them locked up either.
Yeah.
You know, and then that'll trigger some things inside of you if you're not careful. You know, if you haven't dealt with that.
So tell us about your murals. What all kind of painting do you do?
Well, when I was in prison, you know, I was a unit artist. The last unit I left off of was the Stell unit. And I was a unit artist over there. And I learned how to paint in prison. It was therapy for me. You know, I started out drawing, you know, and tattooing and then kind of just allowed it to naturally evolve. And I started getting a hold of that paintbrush and that airbrush. And I was a unit artist. So I started doing murals. The warden that I had over there on the Stell unit at the time was like, hey, you know, if you got some paint, put it on the wall. So, you know, I learned through trial and error, but I had the desire to learn. And one thing I love about painting murals is once you start them, you can't stop until you're finished. So it allowed me to become more goal-oriented in terms of starting something and finishing it, you know. And then when I came home, me and my wife, we started our company, Magic Hand Paint and Murals. And, you know, just been out here painting, doing murals, and was doing community revitalization middle school on the north side of Houston, just to bring some life to the courtyard. It was a bit dilapidated, so we volunteered and provided the materials and brought some more volunteers out and made it happen. So I used my skill set that I learned in there and bring it out here as well.
That's cool. What else you do for the city whenever you talk about gang intervention?
Yeah, my history is rooted in the gang culture. I was involved in gangs for probably 40 years of my life. And came home, man, and I wanted to get involved with some ministries. I wanted to get involved with somebody that was part of the solutions as opposed to part of the problems. And I started sending out emails and phone calls. Well, I got a phone call back from the city of Houston, the mayor's office of gang prevention and intervention. They brought me in. I went through a 6-month interview, and I got hired on over there, man. I worked directly for the mayor and members of city council. And we partner with outside agencies. We do community outreach. I do individual case management. Put it this way, I'm like a parole officer, right? I got my own caseload. I go out into the community and build partnerships and cooperate with people who want to make the neighborhood safer and create economic opportunities for the people. It's a wonderful experience, man. I'm able to use the organizational skill set that I learned while I was involved in the gang culture. I kind of switched it up and just brought it over here into a positive aspect, and just start networking and targeting different areas of the city. We used to want to try to flood the neighborhood with drugs. Now we flood it with non-perishable food items, clothing, canned goods, pastas, beans, things of that nature for underserved communities. Just recently, we were targeting for like the last year, the north side area of Houston, Tidwell, Collingsworth, Homestead, a lot of the areas that are in dire need of some type of economic support. So that's what we do, man. We go in, we work, and build partnerships, and just make it happen, man. Try to show people that they have the ability to bring about change in their own community if they take an ownership stake in it. But other than that, man, first and foremost, I'm a man of God. I'm a husband. I'm a father, a business owner, and a community activist.
Sounds like you got it going on.
I need some rest. I need somebody to send me. I need somebody to send me some black bags, man. Anybody out there got some black bags that's listening?
Well, surely you say you ain't drinking a black bag.
I went to Polanski unit a couple of weeks ago, man, to share my testimony. And, the brothers that work in the chapel, they're like, hey, man, we got some Folgers in there. That's big for them, Free World Coffee. And I'm like, man, I don't want no Folgers. I want some black bags. Somebody go get me some black bags. So they brought me some black bag, and I sat there and I drank that in the gym with about 300 brothers that came out, me, my wife. Went in there with E. Isaac King, the people from Real Vida podcast, and just shared with the brothers, man. There was a lot of guys in there that I'd done a lot of time with or that knew me, and it was very, very emotional for me, man, when I walked through them prison gates and walked back into that unit, because I've only been home about 19, 20 months now, so it was pretty emotional. I had my wife with me, though, my sidekick.
Did you find it hard to believe they were going to open the gate again to let you back out?
Man, I'm going to tell you something, bro.
I'm being straight up. I've been in and out. I know how it is.
I don't even think there's enough words, man, to express the feeling. And I encourage anybody that's in prison right now that's on their way home and that gets home, once you get stable, and get involved. Don't forget the brothers that are locked up, and, get involved in some type of ministry aspect, or just go back in and just volunteer to help, because we can relate. We have that life experience, and it's very important that we let the guys that are locked up or the women that are locked up know that we haven't forgotten them.
Well, Sambo, I hate to say it, but we're out of time.
Okay.
You got any shout-outs you want to make real quick? You got anybody that you want to say hi to or let them know?
Man, I want specifically, I just, in general, not specifically, I just want to give a shout-out to everybody that's locked up, that, keep hope alive. Don't give up. Know that if somebody like me who did 30 years in prison the hard way is able to come home and put in the work to reap the gains, that you can do it as well. And don't think that you're alone. There's all kind of services out here available to help you with your reentry and reintegration process.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
All right, Brother Don, man. Y'all take care.
All right. Take care, brother. Hey there. I thought she was going to click it. Hey, Gonlisa, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
And we're doing pretty good. How about you?
Doing great, actually. Doing a lot better than before.
Yeah? So,
yes, sir.
You referring when you were locked up or what?
Say it again?
How much time did you do?
I actually did a little bit less than 5 years, which was 4 years and 10 months straight.
Yeah. Well, that's quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't want to do 5 years. That's for sure. Yeah, I've been there, done that. So where did you do your time at?
I did it at in Bryan, Texas. It was a camp.
Y'all lived in tents or something?
No. The facility actually was pretty decent. I can't complain about the facility, but I mean, in the place that I was at, it was more of an emotional and a mental state where, I mean, because like I said, the area wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but it was just being away from my kids that really killed me the most. So I guess that transition of just not being able to do what you can for them was the hardest part for me.
Were they able to come visit you?
I actually would tell my sister not to bring them as often because it would break me more when they would leave. They would get in a kind of a depressing state. So they also had like video visits, so I would do that more than anything.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they didn't have video visits whenever I was doing time. I got out in 2010, so I didn't go through that.
Yeah.
So, but since you've been out, how long you been out?
It's been about 6 years already.
So you're doing really good now, huh?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So, now I know you're with Dope House Records, right? What's the other...
Actually, well, no, I'm not signed to them. They're pretty much like my family. I'm actually signed to QBM Media, and that's based out of the Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah, I saw you were a QBM artist. And
yes.
So that's just QBM Studios? I mean, is that...
Yes.
So how many albums have you made, or how many records, EPs, or...
Well, technically, I'm actually working on my first EP ever, which is crazy because I actually have the followers before getting into the music. I did promotions, I did marketing. Like I said, I actually started working at Dope House in 2019, and within the process of the whole COVID thing, I had to go back home, so I went back home, and from there, whenever they need me or, you know, for me to help them out with something, I'll go to their events and help them out and work for them.
So, like making videos or selling merchandise or all the above?
Yes. Well, I help them out with their merchandise and would send out, you know, the orders. So if you ordered in the time that I worked there, you got a package from me.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we're going to play your break song later on, No Strings Attached, and the clean version, right?
Yes. It's actually called Name of the Game, but the file says No Strings Attached.
Oh, so that's not the name of the song? Whenever I listened to it, that was part of the words.
Yeah. It's called Name of the Game.
Name of the Game. All right. Well,
Yeah.
Javier, remember that. It's called The Name of the Game. So we want to make sure that we get it right. You got to get all the credit for it. We appreciate you coming on. We got about 5 more minutes. I don't know what you want to tell us anything that's going on? Have you had a hard time transitioning, or do you think everything's kosher?
I think still up to this date, I have a hard time transitioning into being social and being observant and being protective of what you call your personal space. But because being in there so long, you get used to just being around you and maybe like 3 other people in your cell. It just depends. So the transitioning coming out was not as difficult as I thought it would be. But I would suggest, like, the women and men coming out, don't get discouraged. You know, the world is the world, and it just keeps on going. It doesn't stop for us. Pretty much, you know, if you have a good support system, they say you'll make it. But in my eyes, in my thought process, the only way I was able to make it because I believed in myself. So that's pretty much who you can trust is yourself out here. And just encourage yourself and keep pushing and don't look back. Don't look back. There's so much to do out here. You don't have to fall back.
That's good advice. So do you have any shout-outs you might want to make?
Definitely to everybody that's listening, especially those that are incarcerated, to all my fans. I actually have fans. Yay!
You go, girl.
Yes. To everybody in the Rio Grande Valley, the whole 956. And it's like I say, I was born and raised in the Valley, but I was adopted by Houston, so shouts out to Houston as well.
Cool. Dani, you got anything you want to add? Well, we appreciate you calling in, and maybe sometime you're in Houston, let us know, and you can come in and you can do something for us live.
Yes, for sure. For sure. I sure will.
All right. Well, you have a good night, and thank you so much.
You.
Oh, Linda, cut her right off. You can have my seat, Gloria. I'm going to go check the air conditioner.
All right. You can come right here. Okay. And we're transitioning seats. There you go. All right, Gloria, get on the air.
How come this
That's David.
is one of his ears misplaced? I guess.
Okay, now we have Gloria. Oh, do you want to get on the? Okay. Evidently, I didn't know I would. Hello.
Hello.
All right, Gloria. You look really funny with your.
Hi, Dani. Okay, this is Gloria and I don't know what's wrong with this headphone, but my ear isn't in the right place.
No.
I'm with the Texas Death Penalty Abolition Movement, and I'm glad to be on our monthly thing on the prison show. I've got a really exciting guest with me tonight. Before I introduce her, I want to just say a couple of things. One is we meet on the first Tuesday of every month, and we have for about 35 years. But this Tuesday, we're actually going to meet in person, and we're not going to really meet per se. People are bringing Christmas cookies and pies, and somebody's bringing potato salad. I forgot what Pam said she was bringing. Anyway, we're going to have a holiday get-together. And we still got Christmas cards to sign. Hopefully they'll get them by Valentine's Day. So that's this coming Tuesday, the 5th of December at 7 o'clock at Shape Center, 3815 Live Oak. Second thing I want to say is there's only one execution scheduled as of this moment, and that's Ivan Cantu on February 28th. What I would like people to do, grab your pencil or pen or whatever you young people input on, and contact State Rep Jeff Leach, who is over the area where Ivan is from and ask him to look into this case, because we don't want to be executing people that are innocent. And if he has a good case of innocent, damn it, let's find out before February 28th. So Jeff Leach's phone number in Austin is 512-463-0544. 512-463-0544. And his home office in McKinney, Texas is area code 214-491-1537. That's 214-491-1537. And I'm going to have to put his email address on our Facebook page. I want to say it's jeff.leach@house.texas.gov, but I'm not positive. And Texas is spelled out. So the other thing is, and then we'll get to our guest, the Death Penalty Information Center released their annual report today. And the good news is that only 5 states executed this year. For the 9th consecutive year, there's been under 30 executions. It did go up a little from last year thanks to Florida's got an idiot for a governor, just like we do. And so thanks to Florida, it went up a little. But the death penalty is on its way out. It's dying. Public support is down. A majority of people in this country no longer support the death penalty. Executions are down. People being sentenced to death are down. So I want to encourage people to get involved and let's kill this damn thing once and for all and put it in the ground. And we would love, if you're in the Houston area, we would love to have you join us. And actually, normally we've been meeting on Zoom. So if you're anywhere, except for this coming Tuesday, and if there's a young person that comes Tuesday and can put us on Facebook Live, you can actually join us. But I can't do that I can't walk and chew gum. But other months, anybody from anywhere can join us. So I would like, people opposed to the death penalty in Texas, sometimes we feel like we're knocking our heads against a brick wall. And most of us are so sick of driving to Huntsville that we want to puke when we turn off the highway. But there's people all over the world that are interested in what's going on with the death penalty around the world, including here in Texas. And sitting next to me tonight is the president of the Italian Coalition to Abolish the Death Penalty, Arianna Ballotta, who I've known for
30 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, God. A long time.
A long time. A long time.
So, welcome to the Prison Show and to Texas and to hell.
I am very happy to be here. And as you said, we have known for a long time, which means that we are still fighting against capital punishment. I wish, I hope we will not see again in maybe 10 years from now. Mm-hmm. Who knows? You said it well. The majority of the countries of the world have abolished capital punishment. And in Europe, for instance, you are not allowed to have capital punishment if you want to join the European Union.
Right.
So no countries in Europe, apart from Belarus, which is not part of the European Union, has capital punishment. And we are very proud of it. We are really, and we keep fighting in order to help Texas and the United States of America to get rid of capital punishment.
Okay, tell us, how did you get interested in the whole issue of capital punishment?
Well, when I was 13, my father was killed by a guy who had, drunk too much. And my father was 33. And I was very upset and angry, and I kept saying, I wish we had capital punishment so this guy would be killed. And thanks to my grandmother, it took me 5 years to understand that I was very, very wrong. And I finally forgave the guy who killed my father. And at that point, I asked myself so many questions. And I realized that, first of all, capital punishment is wrong. And especially that the family of the killer, or, they have the very same feelings that I had back then. And they are innocent as, the family of the victims. So I decided to start corresponding with a death row prisoner in Texas. And my first friend on death row was Richard Wayne Jones, who unfortunately was executed in August 2000. And thanks to him, I met David Atwood, who was a dear friend of mine, and he just passed. And Joanne Gavin, who was another dear friend of mine. So the first time I came to Texas, I met them both, and it all started. And it was very, very hard at the beginning, because I saw that here many people were actually in favor of capital punishment. And I remember one time we were in front of the Huntsville prison where they execute people, and it was just 3 of us. Now things are changing, thank God. And I think that the support to this fight, the European support to this fight, is very, very important.
Absolutely.
And I am really very proud of it. As you know, we don't sell any drugs anymore to those countries like the United States, where they use the drugs to kill people. And this is a very important step.
And this was thanks to activists in Europe.
Yeah.
It wasn't just these companies who said, oh, we're not going to sell drugs anymore. No, y'all put up a fight, and we are so grateful for that. It hasn't stopped executions, but it's made it harder. And I don't know, Texas has their own little drug dealer somewhere, but a lot of states aren't executing, thanks to y'all, because they can't get drugs.
Well, we simply thought that it doesn't make any sense. If we are against capital punishment, we cannot help in any way those countries that kill people. Mm-hmm. So we think that capital punishment has absolutely no place in a civilized society. So if you want to call yourself civilized, you have to get rid of it. This is our, this is what the European Union thinks, and what we activists think. And we are determined to keep fighting. In many countries, like in Africa and other countries, of course, in Europe, I already told you that there is no capital punishment, but so many countries in the world have decided to get rid of it. So I wonder why the United States of America, which thinks to be the most civilized country in the world, still keep using this kind of punishment. It's very difficult for us to understand. Do you have an explanation?
I don't understand either, because it doesn't make sense. Number one, it costs a lot of money. So even if you don't care about killing people, look at the money. I mean, that's how I convinced my brother, who was kind of a right-winger. And then 194 or 196 people have been exonerated off death row. Nobody even knows how many, because they were innocent. Nobody even knows how many are 6 feet under, and they were innocent, but they were killed. And even some people are saying now, well, so-and-so, Shaka Sankofa or Gary Graham. Now a lot of people are saying, yeah, he probably wasn't guilty. Boy, you sure killed him, though. So it doesn't make sense.
Well, we think that being innocent or being guilty doesn't matter. This is what we think. Nobody should ever be killed by the state for having killed somebody, or, if you are innocent, the more so. But we think that we should get rid of capital punishment, first of all, for moral and ethical reason. You cannot kill somebody to prove that killing is wrong. That doesn't make any sense. And if the state kills its own citizens, we think that it gives the wrong message. Then everybody is entitled to kill because the state kills in the name of the people. So if my state kills in my name, then tomorrow I'm going to kill as well. Why should I be punished?
Right.
You understand what I mean? So we think that, okay, the innocent argument is very, very important because nobody would ever like to see an innocent person be killed, and it happens. We know it happens. But even if you are guilty, you should be punished, fine, you stay in prison, whatever, but nobody should ever kill you for doing something wrong. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Right. Who, besides Richard, you had visited other people on death row.
Well, yeah, quite a few people. And
in fact, tomorrow you're going to visit Thomas.
Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to visit. Well, Thomas and I have been friends for 30 years, almost 30 years. Yeah, the first time I met him in Huntsville when he was visiting with his wife and Dorothy, and I was visiting Richard, and we met. Then we started corresponding. And by the way, hi Thomas, if you are listening. And I'm so happy and I'm excited. I'm looking forward to seeing you. And so many other prisoners who unfortunately are no longer with us because they were killed by the state.
Well, Thomas got off death row.
Yeah.
And Daryl Madison. Weren't you visiting Daryl?
Yeah, I was.
And
okay.
What unit is he at now?
I don't know. We are no longer corresponding because I had problems. I lost some dear people in my life, and for some time I stopped corresponding. Yeah, so.
When you started visiting, the prisoners, death row prisoners, were at
Ellis, yes.
And now?
Well, now the conditions on the row are very, very, very bad. Solitary confinement is terrible. And back then at the Ellis unit, they had the work program, and they could socialize, they could stay together, and it was easier on them. And it was, how can I put it? It was a more humane way of doing time. But now it's torture. It's really torture because they spend 23 hours a day alone in a cell. They cannot get together. And, well, it is as if the state is happy to add torture to killing. So it's, so it's way worse like this. And I am not surprised that some of them decide to give up their appeals, which is terrible. It's very painful, but I understand them.
Well, some people give up their appeals. Some people have totally lost their minds.
Yeah. Or they commit suicide.
And then the other thing is suicide.
Yeah.
So,
this is unbelievable. I would say really unbelievable. In Europe, we have problems with prison as well. Of course, in Italy, we have some prisons that are really bad, but not that bad. But we also have very, very, very good examples of prisons where people do their time with dignity. They are respected. They live in a community. They have good relationship with the correctional officers, because we do understand that once you will be back in society, you need to be a good citizen. And if I mistreat you while you are doing your time, how can you improve?
Of course. And in January, I told you Franz, who had been a prison warden, is going to be in Texas and be on the show, right? And when his description of, he's in Holland, the Netherlands. The prisons sound like you're in a college dormitory. And the prisoners were his friends. One time when he came, he brought me gifts that the prisoners had made for me. And I'm like, oh my God. They treat them like human beings.
Yeah.
So,
that's
very different.
That is the way it should be.
One minute.
And we really need to work on that, because punishment is being away from society, being away from that is your punishment. But the state is not supposed to torture you in any way. So we really have a lot to work on, lot to work on.
Well, we thank you, the Italian Coalition,
and
so all of the European activists for their help. And I want to give a couple of shout-outs before I get off. Anthony Haynes, I look forward to meeting your wife, and I hope you enjoy the cooking magazine I just renewed for you. Hello to Robert Robertson, Thomas Millerell, Rob Will, Big Will, Spider, and Big White. Hope everybody's doing good. I heard your Thanksgiving dinner wasn't horrible, so that's good news. Anyway, hope to see you guys soon. That's it.
That's it. You know what? You are an inspiration. Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you for what you do. This program is very important because everybody can listen to you. So keep doing it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Thank you very much. Oh, ciao. I love that. Ciao. Ciao.
I like chow time.
Yeah. I like her version better than the prison chow.
I just figured it out.
You figured it out,
Now that
Gloria?
my right ear's got a hole in it.
You know, I wanted to walk over there and fix it, but I kind of enjoyed seeing you with your ear like that. Now, I think we have Mr. Abe on the line. Mr. Abe. How you doing, Mr.
Good
Abe?
evening. Doing all right. Greetings, Gloria and Arianna and everybody, and glad to be with you tonight.
Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Did you enjoy? She did a good job, didn't she?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yes.
And we're grateful that you traveled all this way, and I'm one of these days we'll get to meet too.
Thank you, Abe. Thank you. Well, we do what we can. There's a lot to do, as you know. So, yeah, we try. And I said earlier, I hope that this will stop very, very soon. But unfortunately, we need time. Thank you.
Of course. Well, let me jump right into it. I'm sure you all talked about Dave Atwood last week, but I wasn't on last week. I just wanted to again, remember Dave Atwood, the founder of the Texas Coalition to Abolish the Death Penalty, and so much more. He was really the person responsible for bringing the journey of hope from violence to healing to Texas, as well as many other anti-death penalty activities. I first met Dave when I traveled to Texas in 1998 to help organize the first Texas Journey of Hope from Violence to Healing, and got to stay at his house a few times and all that. So, just a sad day that both he and his wife have passed, and I just wanted to remember them. And also, while I'm remembering people, I want to say happy birthday to Sandra Reed tomorrow. She's going to be 75. That's Rodney Reed's mother. So if you know the Reed family, give a call out and happy birthday, Sandra. Also a shout out to Ivan Cantu. I know Gloria mentioned his name. I put a link to his petition in the chat on the Facebook page, and you can also just find it easily at bit.ly/Ivan Cantu with a capital I and a capital C. And also I'll be putting in there a link to the latest information that's been put up. I misspoke a couple of weeks ago when I mentioned that they've got new information in the case that's not on the Cousins by Blood podcast. That will be up in January, but they do have new content up on the Patreon page, Patreon. I'll put a link to that in the chat too, the Cousins by Blood Patreon page. So that's where you can find more about that. Ivan is the only person currently on Death Watch. He's by himself, and I'm sure he'd love to hear from folks. If you wanted to reach out to him through Securus, send him an email. I also want to mention not just Ivan, but everybody. I know you all are getting into the holiday season, and we're going to be talking more about that. We at Death Penalty Action about the struggles, and also finding joy in prison, while incarcerated through the holidays. It's not, obviously I can't speak from that experience, but we've got others that can, and we'll be sharing some of that kind of content on Death Penalty Action programming over the next few weeks. So let's see, those are my shout-outs, as well as, of course, it was great to see all of the women in Gatesville on the women's death row today. There was a live broadcast of a Catholic Mass on the women's death row. That was put together by the Catholic Prison Ministries. They have been had a conference online, I guess, and one of the things they did was broadcast a mass. So even though they fuzzed out the faces of the women, you could, if you know any of them, you could tell who they were, and you could see them from the back, and it was a beautiful thing just to see. Even though if you're not Catholic, I'm not Catholic, but been through plenty of masses, and it was just great to see that was happening. So hats off to the Catholic Prison Ministries folks, and also the Catholic Mobilizing Network, which is how I learned about that. So let's see here. I want to share with you, Gloria's already talked about the Death Penalty Information Center report, so that's good news. Now, on Sunday night on our program on the Death Penalty Action page, we do a program called The Forecast, and we look at what's coming up. And Rob Dunham, the former executive director of the Death Penalty Information Center, now he runs the Death Penalty Policy Project, is going to be spelling out what all that means, what happened in the past year, and what we're going to be looking at in the next year. So you can catch that. That's at 8 p.m. Central Time. And if you get our emails or see our social media, you'll know more about that. So there's that. So let's talk about the execution that happened on Thursday in Oklahoma. A guy named Phil Hancock. He was on death row for more than 20 years, I think, and always maintained that the murder wasn't a murder. It was self-defense. He was in the home of people that he knew, and suddenly they were trying to put him in a cage, and they had a gun on him, and he was able to get that gun and shoot the other guys. And for that, he ended up on death row. And the interesting thing is, just like Richard Glossip, he's got the interest of these pro-death penalty Republican legislators, people like Jeff Leach, except up in Oklahoma, J.J. Humphreys, Kevin McDougal, and others. And they did a lot of organizing and a lot of talking about this. And I think the positive silver lining, if you can find one in this situation, is that here's these right-wing pro-death penalty Republican legislators that say they want to make it right, and they can't be heard. Their arguments are not being heard. They are not being listened to. They don't want nobody. They're finding themselves with roadblocks, and that's lighting a fire under them. And they had said that if Richard Glossip got executed, that they would work to abolish the death penalty. And I think they're at a point where they already know. They're gonna just find themselves pulling their hair out, trying to fix the system. That's going to be the next step in Oklahoma. But in any case, Phil Hancock was killed, and it really brought forward a lot of people that are pro-death penalty. But wait a minute, the system is broken. And we're going to be talking about that on Sunday night, too. I just recorded a great interview with J.J. Humphrey, that legislator, and we'll be sharing that on Sunday night, too. So watch for that. And, of course, we'll be putting the full length interviews on our YouTube and other social media, so you can watch out for that stuff. But I also want to add that, it was just the height of cruelty, the way Governor Stitt acted. They had a recommendation. The way it works in Oklahoma is they have the Board of Pardons and the Oklahoma Pardon and Parole Board will meet at least 21 days prior to the execution and decide whether or not to grant clemency. And they do it in public, not like in Texas. They have the hearing is out in public. It's live streamed, and then they vote right then, right in front of everybody. And they voted to recommend clemency. And the governor should have just turned around right then and said, okay, and granted clemency. Instead, he didn't say anything. He didn't say anything until, they even delayed. They delayed the execution about an hour, waiting for the governor to finally say one thing or the other. And it was just cruel and unnecessary to do that. If you're going to kill the guy, then just, put the question to rest. And if you're not, put that to rest too. So we're going to be talking more about that, and that has also upset a number of these pro-death penalty people, but not for this guy, right? So we'll be hearing more and seeing more about those opportunities in Oklahoma, and carrying that stuff on through to Texas, and other places. Another bit of good news is that I got a notice this week. Virginians for Alternatives to the Death Penalty is sunsetting its organization. They're closing the doors. Virginia is the first state of the Confederate states to abolish its death penalty, and they did that a couple of years ago now. But what they came to see with the most recent election in November is that the majority opposing the death penalty is safe, at least for the next legislative session in Virginia. So they've decided they don't need to exist. They don't need to waste the resources keeping themselves together. So they're going to sunset, and that's great news because they feel confident enough that they don't have to stick around to protect the win. And we saw that repeatedly in New Jersey, where we abolished the death penalty in 2007. I was the field manager in that campaign, and then moved on to the National Coalition, where the first project was New Mexico, and we abolished it there in 2009. And you can go on to Illinois, Connecticut, Maryland. All those organizations have shut themselves down because they abolished the death penalty. And same thing again, Colorado. I think they're still hanging on, but the Washington Coalition has sunsetted itself. And who else we got? I mean, those are the main ones. But anyway, great news there. Also, I want to give a shout out to the San Egidio community who have had their annual Cities for Life celebration or commemoration, however you want to call it. That was just this past Thursday on November 30th, which is the anniversary of the date in 1876 when the city of Tuscany in Italy became the first municipality, the first jurisdiction to legislatively prohibit executions. So shout out to Tuscany. Just got a couple minutes left here, but I do want to note, if you haven't been listening, if you're able to reach it, to listen to the podcast Rush to Kill. It's on, you can find it at indianapublicmedia.org, indianapublicmedia.org. The podcast is called Rush to Kill by George Hale, who's one of the reporters for Indiana Public Media that covered the federal execution spree. And they've had 7 episodes so far. The last one is going to go up on December 7th, and we'll be having a conversation also with George Hale coming up on sometime in the next week or so. We're still scheduling that. But it's a really fascinating look at the federal execution spree and the federal death penalty, not just Trump executions, but the history of it. And hopefully we'll get into the next steps, and that's another thing that we'll be talking about this next few weeks. Death penalty action is, how do we make sure we're set up to continue to try to get a bill to abolish the federal death penalty onto the desk of the president so that he can sign it. A lot of people complain about President Biden not doing enough, but you know what? He's stopped the executions, and he's appointed an attorney general who understands not to set execution dates, and those are good things. We'd love for him to talk more about his agenda to abolish the federal death penalty, but at the end of the day, it's probably not going to be until he's a lame duck either if he, God forbid, doesn't get reelected. And I say that because the possibility of somebody else getting elected means more federal executions. But if Biden doesn't get reelected or he has a second term and lasts that long, then we're going to be looking at a campaign to commute all the death sentences on the federal death row. And we can't just start that at the last minute. We're working on it already. You'll be hearing more about that. As well as in a year from now, we're looking at the United Nations bringing up again a resolution for a moratorium on executions globally. And we're going to spend the next year working to get the United States to change its vote, not just to abstain, but to actively vote with the majority of the United Nations calling for a moratorium on executions. So that's those are the main things I wanted to hit. I will say again, I put a link in the the comments on the Facebook page. We've got the next execution. No more executions in 2023, but the next execution in 2024 is Kenny Smith with the gas chamber in Alabama. We'll talk about that more in 2 weeks. And also December 7th is the clemency hearing for James Ryder in Oklahoma. So you get on our webpage and sign the petitions for those guys. And, yeah, here we are.
All
9:55.
right. Thank you so much, Abe. And Rush to Kill is a podcast. Just wanted to confirm that, right? Because I'm all about podcasts.
Rush to Kill, you could probably find it on Spotify and all that, but it's for sure at indianapublicmedia.org, and I'll put that link into the Facebook chat right now. So thanks,
Awesome.
everybody.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Bye-bye. And there we go. There we go. And what now? What now, Javier? What now? What now? Huh?
My phone guy, he's taking forever over here.
I know. What? I mean...
That's why I had to press the button, you know, cut them off. But
yeah. You know, good help's hard to find.
it really is.
I mean, you know, what can we do? What can we do? Back at you, boss. I'm still on. I'm gonna say stuff if you don't turn me off.
All right, we're about to do the break song.
Hanky panky.
I can stay with someone else, so through the storms and the thunder, we still dance in the rain. Ain't no signs of catching feelings, we still feeling the same. Keep it on the low, untouchable flame, no strings attached. That's the name of the game. Through the storms and the thunder, we still dance in the rain. Ain't no signs of catching feelings, we still feeling the same. Keep it on the low, untouchable flame, no strings attached. That's the name of the game.
You like that drug, you that go-to. Ultimate high sound of your voice, it be like soul food. Watch me eat it up just like a mango tongue be so good. No, I can't deny I got them feels, but I ain't no fool. Can identify a sneaky link and plus a sly ways. Let him beat it up and just go missing for a few days. See him out and about with another, no tripping. Jealousy, now what you sipping? That's way up pimping. No such thing as a faithful man, he wishing he know the business. Good times or bad, no matter what, we keep them good vibes. No worries on our minds, we go and put that to the side. Let's talk more passion, would it be we wasting no time? They say that great minds think alike, that's how we coincide. When we all alone, we keep it on the low. Others call us friends, but they don't really know though. Never save our numbers on the phone, that's a no strings attached. It's something that we both know.
Through the storms and the thunder, we still dance in the rain. Ain't no signs of catching feelings, we still feeling the same. Keep it on the low, untouchable flame, no strings attached. That's the name of the game. Through the storms and the thunder, we still dance in the rain. Ain't no signs of catching feelings, we still feeling the same. Keep it on the low, untouchable flame, no strings attached. That's the name of the game.
You're listening to KPFT Houston.
All right. Hey, David. I thought you were gonna.
No, we're winging it tonight. Support for KPFT and the Prison Show is provided by the Cohen Parole Law Team. For almost 40 years, Gary Cohen has helped to represent incarcerated individuals throughout Texas, obtain parole, and fight parole revocations. We protect those who have fallen short of perfection from the wrath of those who believe they've attained it. More information about Gary Cohen and his associates, Alan Bennett and Gene Anthus, can be found on their website at parolelaw.com. You may also contact them at 512-476-6201.
So, y'all, remember to keep your pen and papers handy every week to get that phone number. Remember. All right, let's get to Manuela on line 4. Hey, Manuela.
Miss Dani. Hey, how you doing, dear?
Doing good. How you?
I'm very, very great because it's only 2 days. You know for what?
I hear a pep in your voice. I wonder why. I wonder.
See all my besties, see my husband. That's the great thing. The greatest ever.
The greatest ever? Really?
Yes. Really?
You're so funny. And your love, it amazes me. Y'all are too cute. Too cute.
Thank you, my dear. Love you.
Love
See
you.
you soon.
Yes. Can't wait.
So now I go ahead to make my shout out to my beloved husband, Robert. Hey, baby. How you doing? I hope you are the same way like me. Very happy and fine and all these things. And I can't wait to see you and to talk to you, look into your eyes, baby. I miss you so much every single second of my life. You are always on my mind and I'm always thinking about you. But no matter how many miles are between us, you will always be close to my heart and you will always be my true love. The day I met you, I found my missing piece. You complete me and make me a better person. I love you with all my heart and all my soul. And I'm so very, very happy at this time. Every minute I count down. And I don't want to say here when I come because we know why. But you know when I come and wait for me and be happy, my love, and be hungry, my love. And this is all I can say to you, that I love you with all my heart, baby, and all my soul, and I will never stop loving you. And I need you to survive, my baby. See you soon, my love. Good night. Sleep well. Sweet and pleasant dreams to you. And I'm there in a short time with you, my love. Good night, baby. Miss you, love you, need you. Thank you all. And I wish a great weekend for you. And hope to see you soon, very soon. And I can't wait to see you soon.
I'll see you Monday.
I'm looking forward.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
we will see you soon. Won't say, don't give away too much.
Yeah.
There's, yeah, I'll see you soon, girl.
Very big hugs, kisses, and all my love to you all.
Yes.
Bye-bye, dear. Bye-bye, love you.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Oh, I thought there was Caitlin. Wasn't there a Caitlin? There you go. There's a Caitlin.
This is a shout out for Beto Garza in Polunsky. Hey Boo, how are you? I hope that you're in good health and spirits, staying safe, and that there's a smile on your handsome face. As for me, well, yeah, things are okay. We had some kind of sleety, snowy thing today, but yeah, it didn't stick, so yeah, now it's just turned into rain, and yeah, it's pretty cold here. Daytona got her vaccines today, and she got a general checkup, and yes, all is good with her. She's happy and healthy, but she was so nervous going into the vet. Yeah, she doesn't like being there, so I had to hold her under my coat and kind of give her snuggles, and yeah, but thankfully everything is good, and thankfully she wasn't there that long. Buddy is doing good too. He got clipped yesterday, and yeah, he made good choices, and yeah, I didn't have to go running after him when he decided he wanted to run off. Other than that, I'm here with Daytona, and we're just watching TV, and yeah, I'm going to have to do some cleaning now in a bit. Other than that, yeah, so I wrote you a JPay, or I should say an email. I keep saying there, JPay is when. Other than that, yeah, so good night, sweet dreams, and please stay safe. And to everybody at the prison show, a big, big thank you for making this happen.
She always sounds so much fun.
Yeah.
Always has the best, even after her mom passed. And her mom recently passed, I think.
Yes, a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Nika, line 1.
Hi, thank you, Prison Show, for the shout out. This is my first time on here. I want to shout out to my fiance. His name is Sauce at the Polinsky unit. His birthday is on Tuesday, so happy early birthday, babe. He probably sleep. So I just wanted to say happy birthday. I love you. I can't see you this weekend because I didn't get a visit, but I'll see you in a couple of weeks. And thanks again. And y'all have a good night.
Well, you too. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Oh, wow, that was quick, David. Lightning fast there. All right, now who is next? Ashley on line 3.
Hey, how are y'all?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm sorry I haven't called in, but I just wanted to give a shout out to my dad, Norman, at the Estelle unit. I love you and I miss you. I hope you're doing well. Hopefully you're hearing this and you're freaking out. I don't know. You probably are freaking out and probably saying, oh my God, that's my daughter on the radio. Please don't act a fool. I beg you. Give me a call when you can. I don't know if he can call tonight. Christian is doing well. He likes to beat me up now. Likes to slap me, kick me, punch me, bite me, and he likes to hit me with the cane upside the head. You're probably laughing at that part. I love you and I miss you. So much has gone on lately, Dad. Just come home safe and sound. I love you. Thank you all so much.
Aw,
y'all have a blessed night.
Have a good weekend, Ashley. And great big
Thank
hugs
y'all.
from us to you.
Thank you. Right back at y'all.
Bye-bye. Man, David.
You said goodbye.
I mean, dang. All right, Clarence. I have a feeling that this is Clarence Bowman.
Can you hear me?
We can, Clarence. How you doing?
Well, so far, so good. I'm still hanging on, me and the good Lord. I know it's been a while since I called in, and I'm sorry about that, but in and out the hospital and stuff, so I'm taking it one day at a time. I'm going to say hello to all my brothers and things on that Pulaski and that French Styles unit. Hope y'all doing well, brothers. And hopefully things will get better. Let y'all know that I hadn't forgotten about y'all. Y'all take care and look out for each other. Maintain your cool. I know it's the hardest part of the year, being in prison when these holidays roll around. But know that I'm thinking about y'all. And facing another year, and I'm going to try to, good Lord's willing, I'll make this year too. Y'all take care. Mysterious Mike and all of y'all. Know that, tell y'all hello. All y'all at the station.
Well,
and I guess that'll do it.
Well, thank you, Clarence. I hope you're feeling better.
Well, you know how it is when you're fighting this cancer. And I got bone cancer in my pelvis, bottom of my spine, behind my neck, so I'm still just taking it all one day at a time. Y'all take care.
You too, Clarence. You too.
Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, now, Mike.
Hello, this is Mysterious Mike doing his shout-outs for the prison show. Season greetings to everybody. Now my shout-outs to the guys of Texas, Guy Alexander, Jamie Cuppett, Stephen Russell, Stephen McGee. Special shout-out to Philip Perez, Philip in Dallas. Lucy and Michelle want me to do a shout-out for Paul. Shout-out for Philip in Dallas. Shout-out for Jovan, Matt, Thomas, Edward Reeves, Adam Wilkerson. Shout-out for Haas. Shout-out for Tasha wants me to do a shout-out for Payday. Shout-out to Bill R. Sims. Special shout-out to Clarence Lee Bowman. Shout-out to Wayman Lee Cart. And you can continue to write to Mysterious Mike Lewis in care of David Collingsworth. And now back to the prison show, and everybody have a happy season. Greetings. Adios.
All right. Now, what is the prison show's address, you ask? Because Mike mentions it all the time. Well, the prison show's address is 226 Chipmunk Trail, Shepherd, Texas, 77371. Again, 226 Chipmunk Trail, Shepherd, Texas, 77371. And now we have...
I thought it was Shepherd, USA.
Yeah, no, Shepherd America. Shepherd America. All right, we have Anjanette on line 2. Anjanette.
Hey, Daddy, how are you doing?
I am doing good, except for these allergies. I'm doing good, except for those.
Yeah, I don't know if I have a cold or it's the allergies, but I'm a little bit under the weather. I wanted to give a shout out to Big Will on the Pulaski unit. My love, I love you so much. I can't stop thinking about you and your beautiful smile. You are my life, baby. You really are. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Can't wait to see you in my dreams. I'm about to go to sleep, my love. I'm very tired. I just wanted you to hear me again tonight and know that I'm right there with you, my love, and you're right here with me, and we'll always be together. I was made for loving you, baby, and you were made for loving me. It's you. It's all for you, everything that I do. I tell you all the time, heaven is a place on earth with you. Tell me all the things you want to do. I heard that you like the bad girls, honey. Is that true? It's better than you ever even knew. They say that the world was built for two. Only life worth living is when somebody's loving you. Baby, now you do. I would sing it, but yeah, not feeling good. I love you so much. My
I was like,
baby.
girl, sing it. Come on.
Oh man, I can't right now. I love you so much, my beautiful baby. God bless you, my love. Pray for us. I'll be praying for you. Dream of me. I have some shout outs for the guys. Blade, Bo, Beto, Mark, Woody, Eric, Debo, and of course, Kangaroo. You hang in there. And a very, very special shout out to the Fat Swag crew on the Polanski unit. Much love and big, big hugs from Will and I. You guys take care. As always, you already know what it is. Hug life, his life. You all have a good night and drive home safely. It's supposed to rain tonight, so you guys be careful. You guys take care.
All right. Thank you. Hope you feel better.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Miss Morales on line 4.
Hey, the shout out is from Humberto Garza. Hey, mijo. Dear Patty here. I know your mom went to see you. Said you had a good visit. And you're doing well. Your tío, I don't know if your mom told you, got sick from the flu. Wasn't COVID, thank God. But he's better now. Barely getting better. My car is messing up. It's a transmission part. It's going to be, I don't know, $595 for the part and $350 to install it with a mechanic. So I'm looking at around $1,000. But oh well. It happens, right? The Cowboys won. I don't know if you all were able to hear it, but they pulled it off. So we're happy about that. We're doing good, mijito. I should be going back up to Houston on the 18th for a checkup with the doctor for the valve. I went to my PCP here, so everything's good. They said everything's good. So just wanted to let you know, mijo, I love you. To everyone, thank you for making this happen, and I love you, mijo. Good night.
All right. Now, Lydia on line 6.
Hi there.
Hi, Lydia.
Hi there. Hi, I got to see Linda yesterday.
Yes, for a short time, but we saw each other.
For a short time, yeah.
Yeah.
Got some rain coming back, but not much. Just, it was nice. It was nice. It was nice weather to travel. But it was good to see you, Linda.
It was good to see
I
you,
want to say
too.
my hellos. I want to say my hellos to Big Lou, to Jeff, to Rudy, Juan, Eric, Lane, Annabelle, Thomas. See who else is there? Moises, Roderick. Am I forgetting somebody? Surely I am. William Spear. I want to thank you for the emails you sent, and I'm still reading one of them, or I'm missing part 3. Got part 1 and part 2, missing part 3. But thank you for sharing, William. And like Tia Patty said, Theo Jr.'s barely getting well. I didn't know about her car. I just heard her telling you about her car. But Tia Rosa was fixing to take off and go and buy some. She was going to buy some lottery tickets. I couldn't believe it, but she said Mariano told her to go buy lottery tickets because there's been a lot of people winning those scratch thingies. I don't buy them, but anyway, she was headed to the store to Circle Stripes or whatever to go buy some scratch tickets. She's not all there sometimes. But anyway, mijo, That's about it. Not much going on. Oh, and there's a parade tomorrow, so I'm undecided about the parade or the boat parade, or I still don't know. It's supposed to be pretty weather, 79 degrees tomorrow, and cloudy. It's been cloudy. Okay, love you, miss you. Talk to you tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Good night. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Bye.
All right, we have some open lines at 713-526-5738, and we also have Dawn on line 1. Hi, Dawn.
Hey, what's going on, Dani?
Not much. How are you?
Man, I'm hanging in there, man. Just thought maybe I'd call and give a shout out to y'all, first of all, man, and everybody else down there.
Well,
what's going on? Y'all staying busy?
Oh, yeah, always busy. Always.
I know it, man. I was just here chilling, really, man. I just got done doing some paperwork for some mental health assessment that I had to take. I had a psychiatry appointment today, and really just trying to get myself together out here, man. It ain't as easy as people think, you know. And I think that well, most people would actually know me down there, man. I actually did 26 flat years, and 24 of those 26 I did in solitary confinement at SEG. It was a challenge, man, and I know there's still a ton of people back there.
Tell them the problems you had when you got out.
Man, it's real easy. It's real easy when you're behind the door and you set your mind to do things in a way where you're actually just trying to stay sane. You're figuring out ways to survive back there behind that door when you don't realize that every day is just taking a piece of you.
Yeah.
And once I got out here, it was just the first day, man. It was like overwhelming, challenging, and even now, I've been out 8 months, and it's still not easy.
Have you found employment?
Actually, yeah. I've been working. This is something that a lot of people don't know that I've been working for Goodwill. It's not nothing fancy, you know. It's not a good job like I'd love to have, but it actually helped me get on my feet. You know, it's helped me understand how to manage money, how to save money, and basically like an opportunity for me. And once I settle in a little bit more, I'll find something better. Still got my plans to do some truck driving. But for the meantime, I'm doing that, and I really can't complain when it comes to employment, even if it's working for Goodwill, because I'm never broke. I'm not rich. I'm never broke. Got my own car. I keep it full gas. You know, so I'm doing good in that little department right there. But the mental challenges, man, is something else, man.
Do you still have friends over? You were at the Polunsky unit, right?
Yeah, Polunsky unit, man. I still got a few friends over there, you know, and one of the cats that actually helped me out a lot was the film minister, Foster.
Oh yeah. He's still over there doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, that's my buddy right there, man. I hope he's still doing good down there.
Give him a shout out.
Yeah. Hey, Foster, man, I ain't forgot about you, boy. Yeah, his life out here, Dani, is something else, man. And like I say, when you're behind that door or behind the walls, it's easy to fantasize, man. It's easy to think you're gonna do this and do that when you get out. When in reality, man, it's a whole other world, man. And you know, I think it's important for people out here in the world to realize, man, that TDCJ, their officials, man, they're really doing more harm to society than they are good by keeping all these people in prison, not rehabilitating them, just making them worse, and just throwing them out in the street like that.
Yeah, when we went to the summit, David, Linda, and Joy and I went to the summit. It was a couple of months ago, I think. I don't remember the exact date. I didn't mention you by name, but I mentioned that someone had been released directly from Polensky.
Right.
You didn't have the paperwork you needed. They put your ankle monitor on too tight. And, you know, they kept you behind a door for so long that, you know, I still remember your spider stories. The actual spiders, not the guy nicknamed Spider. The actual spider stories.
The spiders that became friends and cellies to a lot of people down there, man.
Yeah, which freaked me out to no end. I just wanted to tell you.
Yeah. And I still remember, man. You know, when I left, it was something real surreal, man. To be honest with you, and then to have to experience all these problems, like, you know what? I don't think you're gonna leave because we can't get this monitor to function, or, you know, you can't leave until we get reception, or.
Yeah.
You know, I get out here and I don't have no identification. See, that's another thing that I go to report once a month now. I was doing it every other week, and now, you know, I'm doing it once a month. And every time I go down there's people coming out of prison and reporting, and almost every single one complains about not having an ID. And this is part of reentry that's supposed to provide, and they don't even do that. You know, and I've got a friend of mine that was actually on Polensky, and he left a few months after I did, and they gave him somebody else's Social Security number, Social Security card.
Oh my God!
And, I mean, that's just insane. You know, I mean, but those are just little things. Those are just little things that. They're just out of control, man, and
that's not a little thing to me. If where I work, if I would have given someone else a Social Security card, that's a big thing. Okay,
right, and you're right. But what I mean by, you know, being something small is compared to all the scars and everything we have endured and have to deal with once we step out here. Right. You know, that's what I mean, you know. But yeah, you're right. You know, technically, it's not good for anybody to have a Social Security card. You know, I understand.
Did you just call me Mijo?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, you're not a Mijo. You're a Mija.
Mija. Okay. I was like, did he just call me Mijo?
No. But you know, hey, Dani, I'm still actually, you know, helping Brittany, you know, as much as I can, and with all the prison reform. And I actually had a video call with Wolf Sittler at Austin.
Yeah.
Just a few days ago, and I'm gonna help him with the podcast that him and another cat that he actually helped get out of prison after he was wrongfully convicted, if I'm not mistaken. You know, and I'm gonna help him with that. You know, I'm still I'm still trying. You know, I'm still trying to help.
Right.
You know, all these cats that I left behind there.
Well, is there anyone else that you want to give a shout out to before we go?
Well, I mean, I don't even know if anybody. I mean, I've known and met so many people, man. It would be impossible for me to name everybody, you know. But you know, on Polunsky, you know, I got Boxer over there. On Ferguson, see Quick, Pistolas.
What's your
There's
nickname?
so many people. Actually, everybody knows me by Chano. Yeah, actually, everybody that actually knew me down there in prison. You know, it's a nickname that I had since I was a kid, and everybody knew me by Chano. Yeah, man, it's kind of crazy me calling right now, but I'm not gonna stop trying to help people I left behind, man.
Well, I'm glad we got to chat. Hopefully I'll get to chat with you again soon.
Yeah, and likewise, you know, likewise. And I hope everybody continues to fight, man. Don't give up. Don't lose hope.
Nope, absolutely not. Well, I will call back next week.
There you go. And y'all have a good night, man. And it was nice talking to you, Dani.
Okay, good talking to you too.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye. All right, Carmela on line 2.
Good evening. Thank you for taking my call. I hope everybody had a bountiful Thanksgiving holiday. And I'd like to say hello to my nephew, Bradley Leland Aikens, at the Dallas County Jail. I haven't gotten any word that you've moved, so I just hope you had a good Thanksgiving, no matter what you ate. And I hope you're staying warm. We've had a cold spell here in Houston, but it's warmed up. I had to turn on the air conditioner today, but just want to let you know that I haven't forgotten about you. I still think about you every day, and I have to get my courage up to call your mom because I haven't heard from her about contacting you or how you're doing or where you are. But I hope everything's okay for you. And as always, keep your chin up. Try and keep your mouth shut. I know it's hard to do being an Aiken, but you can do it. And just take care of yourself and know that you are loved. And I hope to be able to call in next week. You take care. Good night. I love you. Thank you, Christian Show staff, for everything you do.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
You too. Good night.
Good night. All right. And we have Nadine sitting right here. Javier, can you turn on her mic, please?
Hello, this is Nadine Broxton sending much love to all my guys in Polonsky unit. I just pray that next week, Eugene will be back there in Polonsky unit. And, see you tomorrow night, Big White, sending love to all my guys again. Bye-bye. Have a good night, guys.
I've always heard the nicest things about Big White.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He makes you laugh.
Billy always said the nicest things about him. I've never met you, Big White, but
he's
Billy always said the nicest things about you.
Yeah, he's right. He's right.
Yeah, he always said the nicest things.
He is a nice guy. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, Yeah. So do you wanna say a few words there? And Sophie's in the house too.
Hello, yeah, this is Anne-Sophie. I would like to make a shout out to Tony. I was very happy to meet Dana Lynn Resser this morning, and I said hi to her on your behalf. And it was also very moving to see the little greenhouse where you grew up as a kid. I made pictures, I will send them to you also, so the school you went to. So it was really, really great to see this area of Houston. I would also like to make a shout out to you, Spider. I would be very happy to meet you next Tuesday. Big White as well. Hey, Chucky, it was really a pleasure to talk to you. Nadine, help me.
Well, what I think is funny is that Joy and I both visit Tony.
Yeah.
And you come from France.
Yes.
And you go by his childhood home. And Joy nor I have been by his
My God, the house. I love the small house. You know,
it's
greenhouse.
very pretty.
It's just touching because you know the person.
Yes.
And especially, I don't know Tony, but I know the mama.
Yeah.
Oh, Golda.
Shout out to Golda. Hey.
Yeah.
I love you, Golda, so much.
Yeah. She's so sweet.
Yeah.
She's really very sweet.
And so I will send the pictures to Golda.
Yes, we will do that. So you take care, and we'll see you. Bye-bye.
Did you get everyone?
Hopefully.
You're like, woo. Whoops. I blame Javier. Always blame Javier. Back when there was one, when before Robert Pruitt was executed, he had, you remember Robert Pruitt? Yeah. He Tool. His nickname was Tool. It was because he had, I forgot how many execution dates he had before, but Golda was really friends with Teresa when Teresa was down here. That's how I originally met Golda. Yeah, she's a sweetheart. Yes. She is a sweetheart, definitely. I'm so glad y'all got to go by. All right. Melanie on line 1. Hi, Melanie.
Hi.
Hey, you're on the air.
Okay, I want to give a shout out to Derek Lewis at Michael Unit. We love you, Derek. Keep your head up.
Okay, you have 3 minutes if you want to say a little bit more.
Okay. No, that's okay.
Okay. All right, that's fine. That's fine. All right, thank you, Melanie. Call back next week.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Linda, did you want to give some shout-outs?
Yeah, except y'all have to forgive me. I left my book at home. I've had so much excitement this week that, I just can't remember everything. So, but you guys know who I'm all saying hello to, and I hope that y'all had a great week and had a good Thanksgiving. I know I did, and just want to say hi to everybody, and I'll be seeing y'all next week.
Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and give mine. Do you have any more, David? Okay. Roderick Harris. Hey, Roderick. I got your message. Hi, right back at you. Curtis Claus. I was telling Anne Sophie about your morning wake-up calls when he sings to me, "Good morning, breakfast lover. Good morning to you." And he wakes me up because my alarm clock doesn't wake me up. So he calls singing this jingle from the 80s. And she said, well, Now I can't remember what.
Wake me up before
You go. And I was like, oh, no. 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 I cannot do that. No. Absolutely not. Because if he starts singing that to me, no. Okay. Rue, how you doing? Ken Decker, how are you? Moy, Jeff. And yes, you can call anytime you want. Of course, I'm notorious for not being by my phone, or I'm slow, or I keep it on vibrate and I don't hear it. So just heads up. J Van Story is one of my friends that he is at the WIN unit, and he has such a strong innocence claim. The victim actually retracted. That's the one from last week. Yeah. I still, it's beyond my comprehension that, he's still in prison. I don't get it. Brett Rapowski, how are you doing? I'm going to be seeing you soon. Leroy, Larry, Joel. Yes, Joel White. Yes. You got that right. Paul DeVoe. Yes, Mr. DeVoe. Creeper. Creeping it real. That's what Joy walks around my house saying. Creeping it real. T. Hey, T. And I'm going to be seeing you real soon also. Big Head. Hey, Big Head. Blaine. And Rexalicious. That's all I have. I'm sure I have a ton more. For some reason, Securus holds all of my emails, and then they dump it in my box, and I have all these e-messages that I got all at once. So we were talking at dinner tonight, Nadine and Sophie, Linda, and I. Is there a call?
I don't think so.
There's a yellow. I guess it's David. Anyway, we were talking tonight at dinner. And I know that y'all heard what we said about Saeed Rabbani. I wanted to bring it up again on the air for everyone to hear, because Ben Wolf, Saeed Rabbani's attorney, found him living with soiled pads, a toilet with mold in it. There was nothing in his cell, obviously, because it's the cell unit, medical wing. So, if you have a loved one, or if you know someone, or if you yourself are in a situation where you are medically impaired, if you need medical attention, you could be one step away from going to the Estelle medical unit, medical wing. I've had friends who've gone there. I've heard horror stories about this medical wing. So instead of us saying, oh, that's horrible, oh, this shouldn't happen. Yes, Saeed Rabbani was mentally ill. We all know that. But we all have loved ones that are one step away from going there, because it just takes one fall. It takes one fall in their cell, one fall out going to the shower, one fall down the stairs, anything for them to end up there. And it's men and women who are there, because Susan Basso was located in that medical wing. So we need to do something about it before it happens again. Now, what? I don't know. I'm open to suggestions, and I should have mentioned it when Abe was on the show earlier. He has a large contact, like he has a large contact pool. So I know that the warden was Britt at one point. Britt did not care for me very much because I had several people that used to be there. So I'm open to suggestions. And I'm not going to sit by and let other people. I want to help. So if you know how to contact me, please do. Hang on, let me give you the address for the prison show is 226 Chipmunk Trail, Shepherd, Texas 77371. You can put it attention Death Row Angels. You can put it attention Dani. You can put it attention David. David's like, what? It's like we say, if you mass grieve it, it usually has better results. So, what was that? Sounded like something was coming up behind me. If we work together in unison to try and get something done with this, maybe our loved one wouldn't be the next Saeed Rahmani. If we think about it that way. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, we have Karina on the line 1. Hi, Karina.
Hi, good evening, guys. How are y'all doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm just having a little hard time trying to get through the line.
Really?
Yes, I had to use another phone, so hopefully you guys could hear me pretty well.
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead, girl.
Thank you so much, and thank you, David, for helping me out with the call.
Okay, go ahead.
First of all, I want to thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you to you guys for having this show. I really look forward every Friday to give my loved one a shout out. I want to shout out to Facundo Chavez and the Pulansky unit. I love you, babe, in so many different ways, and I am so thankful that we found each other. You always know what to say to cheer me up and make me feel special. You are my world, and I am so sorry. I just get very emotional. And thank you, guys, and have a good evening and a great weekend and a good night.
Oh, you too. You too.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for everything. I really appreciate everything you do, guys, for all the prisoners.
All right. Thank you. You have a great weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, David.
Okay. Janie on line 2.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are y'all?
Doing good. How are you?
Okay, thank you. All right, well, I want to do a shout out to my husband and my son, Joseph. Babe, I love you. I miss you. And I hope you're still listening to the shout out or whatever. Tomorrow, it's not a video visit, and I thought it was a video visit. It's supposed to be an in-person visit, which I'm not going to make it, and you know why, but we have a video visit on the 9th, and next weekend, I already made an appointment to go see you in person, so I'll see you next weekend, babe, and
call in the morning, okay? I love you. Good night. Sweet dreams. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And Joseph, I love you, son. I hope you're listening. And I'll see you soon, too, son. I love you. Good night, son. Say your prayers. Don't forget to say y'all's prayers. Love y'all. Mwah, mwah. Thank y'all, Prison Show.
Thank
Good night.
you.
Y'all have a blessed night. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I wasn't quite quick enough. Remember last week we was talking about the cop that got stabbed, the one that killed George Floyd?
Yeah.
Yeah, they found out who did it, and they found out that he'd been stabbed 22 times.
Oh, wow.
You want to hear it?
Oh, yeah. I want to hear it.
Welcome back. We do have some breaking news that we need to get to. We have new details in the prison attack on former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin. We know he was stabbed 22 times last week, and he's serving time at a federal prison in Arizona for his role in the death of George Floyd. Now, today, a 52-year-old inmate, we know his name to be John Tursack, was charged with attempted murder in the stabbing. He reportedly told FBI agents he attacked Chauvin on Black Friday as a symbolic connection to Black Lives Matter.
So, I mean, he just admitted to it. I mean, he don't care. I mean,
yeah.
Everybody in America probably thought that Derek Chauvin deserved it, but I mean, two wrongs don't make a right.
No, I mean, two wrongs don't make a right. I'm against any kind of violence whatsoever.
But it is understandable why it happened.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the dude Chauvin was clearly on George Floyd. I mean, I've lost several people who were Billy's friends on, because they felt that he was innocent. I don't know how, but I mean, clearly, Billy wouldn't have felt that way. It was just, they felt that George Floyd died of a drug overdose.
Yeah, I don't know how. They must not have watched the news and seen the video, right?
Thank you. I was like, and her and I just didn't see it eye to eye on that at all. So, at any rate, I
was kind of Googling prison news. I mean, we don't always talk about national news or whatever, but I posted a thing on our Prison Show Facebook page. There was a guy who got out of prison. He was on parole for a sex case, and he reoffended. And I mean, I was talking to Robert Lilly. I don't know how many of you guys know Robert Lilly, but Robert Lilly always talks about how we're actually a group, and if anybody in our group, I'm talking about parolees, offends or reoffends, it makes the whole group look bad. So you get somebody who's actually given a chance, they're out on parole, and then they reoffend like that. And sex offenders is one of the few people who actually, most of them don't reoffend. They're not really predators like they'd have you think, like, Andy Kahn or somebody would have you think that they are. Most sex offenders only offended once. I mean, and it'll never happen again. But here this guy comes out and he does it, and now everybody's, that term predator, now everybody's convinced that that's real and that's how it is. And it really makes everybody look bad whenever somebody does something like that. I mean, that's why we always talk about, on the Prison Show, we talk about making the next right decision. I mean, if you want to come out and do wrong, just stay inside. There's no sense in coming out. I mean, why do you want to come out and do wrong? And I know a lot of people who haven't got it yet, and it took me 3 times. I mean, I know I'm not perfect, and I make mistakes every day, but there's just no sense in me coming out here and robbing people and doing all that kind of stuff and committing some kind of sex crime. There's just too many people out here to have a real relationship with, and life is great whenever you're making the right decisions. So, and we heard from Don tonight. Don's being honest about it. It's not all, rays of sunshine. Every day's not what you dream about. But every day out here is better than any day on the inside. But you got to make the next right decision. So what do we got? We got a minute left. So we'll talk about Cnvrge. Cnvrge is coming up. They're following us. You guys tune into Cnvrge. It's techno music. Them dudes come out of the college and they made their radio station in the college, and then they got a chance to come to KPFT, and it's funk type music. But
and David listens to it.
I have listened to it. I don't say I listen to it every night because I got my own playlist, but if you want to listen to it, it's kind of beboppy, and it'll keep you awake on that long drive out to Shepherd. So you guys stay tuned for Cnvrge. It's coming up, and for right now, we're going to go out with some Charlie and the Regrets.
Have a great weekend.